Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have the Ugly Dachshund. Ugly Dachshund. Why can't I say that? This is a 1966 film. It runs about, you know what, I really should have researched this beforehand, 1 hour and 33 minutes. Like, I should have my talking points in front of me. But this is off the cuff, as you could probably tell by the quality. So, hey, my ear. I didn't touch my face. The Ugly Dachshund, 1966, about 1 hour and a half long, and stars Dean Jones once again, our perennial. Is it perennial? He was the go-to guy for a ton of Disney films in the 60s and 70s, and of course Suzanne Pleshette, as you can see right here, right there. She's one of his common co-stars. Honestly, I think if they would have made a like a Captain America film, if Disney owned Marvel back in the 60s, seriously, Dean Jones would have been Captain America. That's just my take on it. Like, just hot take off the cuff. He would have been Captain America. He's just got that sort of oh shucks kind of sensibility, and he's I guess he's like a manly man looking guy, I guess. But he could do humor as well, obviously, because this is a comedy. This is not a drama that tells you about all the ugly dachshunds in the world. Actually, this is pretty much an ugly duckling type of story. I don't know why I didn't realize that upon immediately hearing the name, but it only came to me just before I started watching the movie, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what it's about. Because I watched the synopsis, I saw the synopsis, and as you can see, that's not a dachshund right there. Right there. That's a Great Dane. Basically, the premise of the film is that Suzanne Pleshette, right there, wife of Dean Jones, she decides, that she doesn't decide. The movie starts out where you think she's pregnant, and it turns out she's not. She has to rush her pregnant dachshund to the doctors so they can have a birth there. She treats these dogs like they are humans. I know some people like that, Shannon. Cheryl. They all have in their names. Anyway, they treat their dogs like babies, and so their dog, God, I can't remember what the name is right now, but she has 3 puppies, and these are show dogs, by the way. She plans to show these dogs and win the blue ribbon that has eluded her for so long. While there, Dean Jones' character, I can't remember his name either. Was I not paying attention? He talks to the doctor, and the doctor shows him a Great Dane mom who just had like a ton of puppies, and she can't feed them all. In fact, she's pushing some away because there's just not enough milk, and it seems that kind of cruel, and Dean Jones doesn't really understand why that's happening, and he sort of takes sympathy on this little pup that the doctor has to hand feed himself, one drop at a time from a little dropper. And he's like, I love that kind of dog. That's a real manly dog. I would love to have one of those. So when the day that when he sees that, basically the dogs have to stay overnight after being born, and he comes back the next day to pick them up and bring them home. Well, he ends up bringing along one of the rejected Great Dane puppies, just to care for the dog, and because the dachshund has plenty of milk to go around, so why not throw just one more dog in there and just keep her until he's weaned and no longer needs it. He just doesn't bother to tell his wife that this weird looking dachshund, like the dog just happened to have an extra baby after they left, an extra puppy after they left. He never bothers to tell her that this sort of ugly looking dachshund is really a Great Dane. Of course, it becomes pretty apparent later on in the film, because he starts growing by leaps and bounds. And again, this is a type of movie that is all about the catastrophic destruction that dogs, and metaphorically children, can bring to your life. And being raised with dachshunds, this Great Dane his name's Brutus, by the way, sort of believes he is a dachshund as well. Sometimes he crawls around on his belly to be at the same level as the other dogs. the little ones, who are the precious princesses, they're all girls, and he's the boy. They're all the precious princesses of mom right there, and they could do no wrong. They get in all sorts of trouble, and of course, when Brutus follows along, his huge frame just ends up making things even worse and just knocking everything to hell, and everything just goes everywhere. Just undoing some yarn ends up somehow obliterating the living room. So, and not to mention a big cookout they have for their friends. They put in a little party. This, by the way, is one scene where they, those cultural depictions warnings. This program is presented as is, and it won't say the whole thing. Hold on a second. Can't read this. This program is presented as originally created. It may contain outdated cultural depictions. Who baby it does. So, yeah, the caterers for the little party they're throwing just happen to be Japanese, and you have to see it to believe it. They mock their accent, the white people do, and when the Japanese men, two of them, an older one and a younger one, who barely speak any English. The younger one has just been brought over from Japan, and he barely doesn't speak any English. The older one does, and they're all very cliche Asian characters. And when they see the Great Dane, they're scared by the Ryan. The Ryan. Oh. Yeah. And then actually Dean Jones's character actually says Ryan as well. Lion. It's the Japanese way to say lion when you have an accent. Oh boy. So yeah, it's definitely has a little outdated cultural depictions. You wouldn't see them making this movie again in this modern day with showing that. It would certainly not for comedic purposes. Again, that whole idea of them being so culturally different and the super strong accents would just not happen today. Just could not happen today. There would be funny antics with the dogs destroying everything at the party. Absolutely. But no, none of that other stuff. So I've told you enough about this movie. There's really not a whole lot more to tell. It's a comedy. It's just, you can tell it's the 60s. By the way, it's romantic in some ways. The husband and wife bicker and they fight over the dogs, and they decide, being that she treats the dogs as their kids, which he doesn't. He just is like, oh, these dogs. I can't do anything without these dogs involved. She's like, oh, the dogs bought you a birthday present. Each of them had to carry in a little tiny present, and then he would open them, and she talked like they picked them out and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously they didn't because they're dogs, but yeah. So yeah, she treats them in that way. It becomes a big kerfuffle. It's a nice word. But the funny thing is, when they go to bed at the end of the night, it's got that wholesome 60s thing where people did not, even married people did not sleep in the same bed together. So this is earlier than the Brady Bunch. This is them sleeping in twin beds with an end table between them, like a good 5 feet separation for this married couple. So that no shenanigans would be implied in this movie. So yeah, but they do some pretty crazy making out. So they're kind of, Susan is just gorgeous and sexy and all that. So she tempts him with staying home for his birthday rather than going out. So there's innuendo, but you can't show a single bed in a movie at this point, at least at Disney. So yeah, so that's one of the fun little things I found in this movie. Other than that, yeah, it's a fun, cute little movie, but yeah, if you liked seeing cute animals do crazy antics, I felt so sorry for the Great Dane because they put him in so many situations where just stuff was flying everywhere. They destroy Dean Jones's art room where he does, does his art studio where he does all of his work, and just paint is shooting all over the place, and powder and God knows what else. They just destroy so much, and this dog ends up like scooting around in some wheeled platforms or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, he had to be so frightened. I mean, I felt so sorry for him, but yeah, it's a different era. Let's just say that in many ways. So let's pick tomorrow's Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Generate 520. Ooh, I think I know what era section we're in. We're gonna get the first time. Maybe we'll see. I can't be sure, but I know what the 5 teens and the early 520s are. Come on, why didn't I load this sooner? Because I've been waiting for this to happen. I can't believe it's actually happening. 520, holy crap! Welcome to the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I know when I started this thing back in November, I promised myself that I would not be doing any Star Wars films for the end part of 2019 because I was planning on watching each of the episodes leading up to Rise of Skywalker anyway. So I haven't watched Empire Strikes Back since November, December, somewhere around there, December, because I did it on each of the days leading up to Rise of Skywalker's release because I'm a total Star Wars nerd. So, tomorrow, number 520, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. We're finally at a Star Wars film as part of the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. We've had Lego Star Wars, we've had Clone Wars, well, not Clone Wars, we haven't had Clone Wars, we've had Resistance, we've had other little series here and there, but never one of the core movies from the original trilogy too. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. A good reason you're staying in, probably, hopefully, and staying safe and healthy. Watch The Empire Strikes Back with me, and we'll meet back here tomorrow. I'm sure I'll have opinions. Maybe. You already have an idea what I think from the way I'm talking. So, all right, see you then. May the Force be with you.